Hello, I'm to be part of this my open source contribution project on LangChain. So LangChain essentially is an open source library that gives you a lot of functions and tools to streamline your interaction with large language models. But what they're mostly known for is their ability to compress down documents, large text fields to context for the large language models to interpret. So pretty quickly, this is the file that I mainly worked on since the mainly focused on this. And this file essentially holds the parent class to many of the large language models objects that LangChain has. And essentially what this holds is a lot like the generate functions for generating response. So all kinds of that. So for example, so this will be these are functions be called to generate a response. So for my contribution, this is the issue that I was focusing on. And this class, what we wanted to do was change the cache value that's called as Boolean to an actual like cache along with another Boolean value to determine if we want to use the cache or not. So in LangChain, we have a global cache that many models can access. Should advise that if one model uses similar prompt as the other is called with that same prompt and it chooses the response from the other model as its response. So we want to prevent that and give each model their own dedicated cache. So this is what this code looked like before. If we look at self.cache, we check that it's true or false, and check that the global cache I've denoted by LLM cache is empty or not. So right here is that I divided this value that used to be Boolean into a biggest cache, and then I gave a new value called use cache and set it as Boolean value. I know it sets true. So changing that, I also had to change the logic with the functions that use the cache. So for instance, now instead of LLM cache being the actual global cache, I set it to equal the local cache. And then I checked the sign on and if we're going to use the cache, and then I carried on with the logic of these functions that actually call cache. If we take out the cache, and this is what it looks like you are running predictions without the cache. So you see first response took like about 1.5 seconds. The other one took almost 1 second. In order to prevent that, we want to actually use the cache here. To use the cache, again, we can see how the time to persist changed as so the first one took about 1.15 seconds and the other one practically took 0 seconds because the response was taken from the cache. Now let's say we don't want to use the cache for our response. And what I'm doing right now is essentially a unit test, like a pseudo unit test on that I would probably pass on making a contribution to this repository. So as you can see, the first response took about 1 second, the second response without a cache took 0 seconds, and then the response where we didn't want to use the cache took around at the same time, so 1 second, which turned out the way you expected. Pretty much once I understood like the basic structure of each class and I understood the logic behind each class structure and how they're used and why they're used, everything kind of just fell into place. So when I set the cache to be the local object, I changed the logic to access the local cache. That makes sense. So one of the things that doesn't work right now is if you put the cache to a global cache, then it won't access the global cache anymore. It'll only access the cache. So it's probably something I would have to update the documentation. What did not work? I mean, at first, when I was developing like Boolean value, it didn't work because I used to pull an and instead of more. So when you set the use cache to false, then it was still using the cache. But I fixed that. Roadblocks or unexpected problems. No, not really. We didn't really have any roadblocks or unexpected problems. And what we're going to do differently in the future. So something I learned is definitely like learn how to use the tools that you have available to you in the repository and not just try to come up with your own tools and try to reinvent the wheel. Because once when I first started this task, first thing I wanted to do was, okay, I'm going to create a cache. Like there's these tools, there's already a cache object, there's already like a logic to that that can work with everything else. Everything kind of just fell into place. Thinking